Here guys, so I was called on this 2008 Toyota Highlander hybrid that the car does not start, but before I came they've already taken out the battery terminal. So putting the battery terminal back because I wouldn't see any code. We'll try to start the car to see if the car would start. They said the car just tripped up on them. They towed it to their house, try to start it, doesn't start. So we'll be trying to start this car now for the first time. That's the scanner plugged in already, but then couldn't find any code. So this is the first time starting it, and here we go. Still doesn't start. Let's see. No start. Yeah, ready on, ready went off. So I believe right now we should have a code. So I'm gonna be running a scan now, and we'll see what we have here. So the system has loaded up, and you can see this is the NG system that we scanned, and there is no codes on it. So we'll go to the hybrid system now, and then we have p0A78 drive motor A inverter performance. So I'm going to be looking at the freeze frame of this code. Very important to check what was going on before the whole thing happened for us to see the status. And this is the freeze frame. You can see on the freeze frame here that all the battery voltage are excellent, and you can see the battery state of charge here. The battery state of charge around here is let me see if we could get that. Yeah, that's battery state of charge around 59.5%. that means the hybrid battery is not the issue. Hybrid is fine. So I think we have a problem with the inverter, so we are going to be taking a look, but then I need to look at the information code, and the information code is giving me 287. So I'll log that into my old data and see what we have. So I've checked through all data, and we have two conclusions. See that the inverter itself is faulty, or the connector inside the inverter has problems. So first thing I'll do here now is I would have to take out the service plug at the rear here. This is where the service plug for this car is. Just pull this one here. It's kept in as a clip. You can see that one there. Just pull it in. Then you wait for like 5 to 10 minutes for the capacitors to discharge. Then you go ahead and take out the negative terminal of the battery here. We'll be opening up this inverter here, inverter converter assembly. This component here, we'll be opening it up. So once we take out the inverter converter assembly, we'll open up the cover, and then we'll see what we have. So actually, I've taken out almost all the bolts as retaining this guy here. I've waited for 10 minutes because these are all the bolts here, and then I'll be taking out this guy too. I've already had it loosed because I can't have everything loose with one hand. So take out this guy, then I'll try to open on this cover to see what we have here. This is the inverter. Very dusty. Yeah, we'll open up this cover now. It's stuck in. I have to do that with my two hands. So I've taken out all the bolts now, including this security bolt here. And this is the inverter that coming out of the way. I think I would have to open this. Yeah, there you go. Yep, there you go. So that's the inverter being opened up, and we can look at the connectors here. These are the connectors we should check, and did I hear a click? They all seem fine, and I'll take them all out to see if they have a corrosion or something. If they are fine, then I think we would have to replace the inverter assembly. I don't think this has a problem. I think this car would need another inverter assembly, so we'll be replacing this inverter. That's it. I would call the customer and let him know that he will need to replace this component. Yep. If he agrees, definitely if you're watching this video, that means he has agreed, because I wouldn't post an incomplete video. Yep. So the client has actually agreed to replace the inverter, so we went to salvage here to get a used one. That's a used one here. Hopefully it works fine. So this is the initial inverter. I've taken out all the plastic components here and the coolant box here. I've taken out all the plastics here, And this was where I actually drained the coolant from. Down there it's around the transmission area, and there's a tap. We lose it with a 10 Allen key. So, and then what I'm gonna do right now is since the cover is already opened up, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna disconnect this AC compressor. This AC compressor, it doesn't run on belt, runs on an electronic core. I'm gonna disconnect these sockets here. Once I disconnect the sockets here, I'll be removing the rubber grommets from them here. These sockets here, and the rubber grommet to go off. Then there is this bolt here that I'll be losing. These three-phase wires, and these two bolts, I'll be using them to disconnect this wire here. Then I'll be using these ones here too. There's 3 of them here, and this bolt here, and this one here. I'll be using this down one here to take them out. Then there's this socket that is down there. I'll lose that bolt that I'm pointing at here to remove this one. Then move it backwards, and once I take those ones out, I'll be losing these ones too. This one. I'll be losing this one here. I've already taken out this collision sensor socket. So when I take out this ones here, there are other bolts here too. This one here will be taken out. Then I believe after you taking out those bolts there, this inverter should be able to come out. It's a two-man job. So I'll be carrying you guys along on how I do it though. Yeah, so I've taken out this socket here. You can see it has 10 here. Then there's another one underneath it that also has this same setting, 310s. And then there's this one too, also has the same setting, 310s. Then this one down here, I'm finding difficulties having this socket pulled off, but then I've just paused on it. I'll take out this water hose here. There's this water hose that is down here. I'll take it off, and I'll lose all these 12 bolts here. I'll lose them out, and once I get them out, I'll try to take out this inverter converter, and I would see what's restraining this one from coming out. I'll carry you guys along on how I go about it. So basically, this connector down here is stuck and it's very difficult to get out, but I won't document it, but it's something I'll try to take out, and it's very difficult. And then I think that there is a bolt right on this connector here that is holding this. You can see this one is already moving. Can I move it? You can see it's already moving. There's a connector holding it down here, but we'll see what we can do today. Have it out. Yeah, after one hell of a ride, we're able to remove this socket here, this connector here. This is the returner. It was one hell of a ride. Then behind it was this bolt down here that is holding the inverter. This bolt down here. Behind it there's this bolt down here holding the inverter. So once that is out, the inverter can actually come out. So we'll be taking the inverter out now. Richie, please help me. I think the inverter should be able to come out now with no restraint. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Yeah. Hold on. Just cut some wires. There's some wire cuts in the line. Yeah, nice. Sorry. Okay. Let's go. That's it. Yep, so the inverter is out now, and you guys know, as a technician, I know that this 10mm socket is notorious for falling into places that you don't want it to fall into. I had to work with the alternative 10mm that I had here, so I've retrieved my socket now, and this is how the engine room is. We'll be putting in place this new one here and starting the car to see how it actually performs. So this is the new inverter, replacement inverter that we're putting in, and we're putting it inside now, assembling it in the reverse order of how it's assembled. You can see now we'll get it out of it. I actually used grease splinter on this place a little bit so that this socket was really a tough course for me to get out. So I put a little bit of grease here to see if to make sure that it actually goes in easy and it doesn't get stuck on next time that we'll be needing to taking it out. So putting it back in the reverse order, and we'll see how it goes. That's why there's one wire there. I have to take it. It's in place now, and we've put this hose in. Pretty much everything we'll be doing here now is like in the reverse order of how we took it out. So I don't need to have this documented. We'll put everything back in the reverse order and carry you guys along, and I will do it. Yes, so as you can see, guys, the car started. We've assembled everything back in place, and the car is running, and there you go. On the hybrid system, hybrid controller, there is no codes at all. I think for that code, that's a fix, and I think it's because the door is open, that's why the light's on there. So that's a fix. Thank you guys for watching.